Yo, what's up guys, selamat datang kembali di channel AHRXONE dan kita akan melanjutkan kembali cerita dari Murder on the Orient Express. Nah, di episode sebelumnya kita itu mencari keberadaan inisial AW di Venesia, Italia. Kenapa? Karena berdasarkan dari buku harian ataupun buku agenda si Richard, mereka akan melakukan sebuah pertemuan di Venesia. Nah, kita pun menemukan hotel tempat menginap si AW, tapi ternyata dia sudah keluar pagi-pagi hari, terburu-buru dan tergesa-gesa karena dia merasa ada yang mengikutin dia. Nah, akhirnya kita pun menemukan keberadaan lokasi si AW ini. Sepertinya dia ingin kembali ke negaranya guys, tapi sayangnya kita hanya menemukan mayat ataupun tubuh dari si AW karena dia baru saja dibunuh oleh seseorang dan kita nggak tahu orang tersebut siapa karena memakai topeng. Nah, dari lokasi mayat si AW ini kita menemukan ada sejumlah uang cash dan diduga uang cash tersebut adalah uang tebusan untuk Daisy Armstrong. Nah, ternyata si Richard ini dan AW ini memang adalah rekan partner kriminal, sesama kriminal lah seperti itu guys. Dan juga kita menemukan pasportnya si AW. Dia ingin pulang ke kampung halamannya di Swiss, Geneva kalau nggak salah ya guys. Dan kita juga menemukan paspor palsu baru milik si Richard. Jadi sepertinya mereka berdua ingin kabur lah seperti itu guys. Merencanakan untuk keluar dari Italia secepatnya. Nah, itulah mengapa sebabnya si Richard ini menaiki kereta Orient Express untuk bertemu si AW. Kira-kira seperti itu guys. Nah, yang menarik kita belum tahu siapa pembunuh si AW ini. Jangan-jangan dia adalah pembunuh ke-13 guys. Ini masih diduga ya. Tapi daripada kita penasaran, mari kita lanjutkan cerita guys. And let's begin. Oke, continue. Semoga di episode kali ini kita bisa memecahkan si pembunuh ke-13 ini guys. Oke. Nah, sibuk nunggu.
Here you are at last. I was worried about you.
We just left the police station. We had to
mereka
explain to
habis
the
dari
Italian police that we
polisi.
were not murderers.
What? Another murder?
I'll tell you when we're underway. Are all passengers and staff aboard?
Yes, everyone is here. We were waiting for you.
Mereka melaporkan pembunuhan si AW itu guys.
Any more time? We have to make a longer than usual stop in Lausanne.
What? How long?
Long enough to do a little banking in Geneva.
Wow. Kaget dia kita ke Geneva. Karena di episode sebelumnya itu kita menemukan kunci guys, milik si AW. Kita nggak tahu tuh, mungkin ada beberapa kunci, mungkin diamannya.
But this is madness. A 13th murderer of Ratchet?
Mon ami, he was not well liked.
But Monsieur Michel would have seen anyone enter Ratchet's compartment. And there were another 10 people milling about, taking their turn at stabbing him.
Kemungkinan mereka menyembunyikan identitasnya.
An uninvited killer.
Lintas pembunuh ke-13 ini guys, mereka saling kompak. Why didn't Mr. Michel see the murderer? Asap di Pinkovsi, false testimony. Testimoni yang salah.
Pierre Michel's testimony is, of course, false. He was actively involved in the murder plot. I must know his real movements to understand when our 13th murderer could have acted undetected.
Is the murderer still on the train? Oh, ini yang kita nggak tahu nih guys. Lokasi pembunuhnya masih di dalam kereta ini. Ini menarik ini. Coba kita bikin ya,
Yes, he most certainly returned to the train.
How can
Wow.
you be sure?
It's obvious. I mean, I hope Mr. Poirot agrees.
Please continue.
Berarti dia
Detective.
selama ini sembunyi berarti. What is the proof that murderer is still on the train? He ran in the direction of the Venetian railway station. Dia berlari ke arah kereta ini guys, waktu kita kejar dia, waktu dia kabur. His best ticket out of Italy is aboard the train. There's no one missing on the train. Cobain ya.
While I was
guys.
chasing him, he was clearly running in the direction of Venice Station, where the Orient Express was waiting.
Very possibly, but it is not much in the way of proof, mademoiselle.
Nggak, kurang kuat ya guys ya. His best ticket out of Italy is aboard the train. Tiket terbaiknya keluar dari Italia adalah naik kereta. There's no one missing on the train. Mungkin ini guys.
The train is French. The murder took place in Slovenia and the victim's body is in Italy. Jurisdiction won't be sorted out before the train reaches Paris. The murderer is probably content to sit tight aboard the train until Paris, where he can disappear.
It is undoubtedly a possibility, but we have no proof.
Salah lagi guys. There's no one missing
All
on the
the
train.
passengers and crew are still aboard. If the killer of Mr. Wadi had remained in Venice, we would have noticed right away that someone was missing, and we could have alerted the authorities.
I promise you, I made certain everyone was aboard before we embarked.
Book, calm yourself.
Calm myself? But we're back where we started. There is still another murderer on my
Yes.
train. Wait a moment. Can I change my mind about my verdict? Can we turn everyone over to the police?
Everyone? Including ourselves?
What? No. No. It's a nightmare.
Let us take it step by step, my friend. We can start by eliminating all of the members of the Ratchet jury.
Oke, the Ratchet jury. Ini juri waktu di pengadilan mungkin ya guys ya. Who are the 12 people who were both Ratchet jury and executioners? Who are the 12 people who were both? Oh, siapa kira-kira 12 orang yang juga jadi jurinya pengadilan sama executioner juga. 12 orang guys. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 mungkin.
This is wrong, but I'm never far from the truth.
Oke, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Itu pasti ini guys. Oke. Nice.
Et voilà.
Ternyata yang orang Rusia tuh enggak ya?
Eliminate the 12 jurors, we are left with 7 additional suspects.
7?
Oh, sisa 7 orang
It's
berarti.
still too many.
I agree.
Oh iya guys, kan di kereta ini masih ada orang lain ya kan? Yang belum kita tanyain lebih dalam. Orang-orang staffnya.
Any of the 7?
Is book suspect? No lah jelas.
Good.
Book nggak mungkin, book orang baik.
Hard to get me aboard the train.
Yeah.
He
He's definitely not a suspect. Oh.
Brilliant. Mademoiselle Locke.
Jangan kasih yang muda-muda gini seharusnya guys.
She pursued Mr. Wadi's murderer.
Nah ini kan no lah jelas. Karena dia nggak tahu jumlah pembunuhnya itu kira-kira ada berapa.
13th stab wound. He is not a suspect.
Yes.
Et voilà.
3 orang dari
I have
7
4 suspects left who I must now
udah
examine more closely. Miss
blacklist ya
Wilson,
guys. Tinggal 4 orang aja.
Monsieur Fauché and Countess Andrény.
One of my employees? Suspicious?
All 3 got off the train in Venice to restock supplies.
Oh,
Anyone
dia yang bisa keluar ya.
slipped away without being noticed.
Oh yeah.
I suppose. But what of Countess Andrény? You cleared her yourself.
Tapi Andrény kayaknya nggak mungkin deh.
First murder, but we know little of her movements here in Venice. So
Kalau dia pembunuh ke-13 yang kita kejar semalam, untuk ukuran perempuan dia terlalu lincah, nggak mungkin guys.
Detective Locke,
I can't join you, Poirot. My chief saw something on the news about the case and my involvement. He's demanding an explanation. If I want to keep my badge, I have to call him.
Dia ketahuan
and
guys.
you must do
Dia
so
bertugas
by all means.
I'm sorry.
di luar
No need to apologize. I understand.
I'll make the call from my compartment. If
perintah
you're looking for
kepolisian
me,
ya
I'll
guys
be
ya.
there.
Jadi dia nggak bisa bantu kita. Oh dia bakalan
I
dipecat.
hate to say this, Poirot, but I must. There is, of course, one other suspect with a motive for murder. The ransom money.
You mean Detective Locke? Then Who did she chase? Who killed Aziz? We both saw the masked
Ya,
murderer
mungkin.
standing over the body.
Interogasi Miss Nielsen. Oke guys, keluar dulu. Mr. Voucher. Voucher ini bartender ya guys. Mr. Mori ini kepala chef. Satu lagi siapa nih? Andrei, udah kita udah tahu guys. Dia orang kaya Rusia. Bentar. Kita lihat. Andrei, Mori, Voucher, Nielsen. Nielsen dulu guys. Nielsen di kamar nomor apa deh? Nggak pernah ingat guys nama. Nggak mungkin di sini. Nielsen. Nah ini dia guys. Berarti kita harus ke belakang ini. Jauh banget ke belakang. Bentar deh. Mori sama Nielsen terakhir aja. Sama Voucher. Andrei dulu guys. Andrei itu di first class ya. 205. Sini deh guys, di ujung deh. Michelle, you're a murderer. Oh, tidur guys. Ini udah sih sebetulnya nih kemarin. Nggak perlu buka-buka lagi. Nothing guys. Kita ngobrol dulu sama si Konstantin.
Doctor, I need to question Countess Andreni.
I'm afraid that won't be possible, Mr. Poirot. The
Why?
Countess had an anxiety attack when we arrived in Venice. She was terrified the police would come for her and her husband, despite how
Mereka ketakutan karena polisi akan
I
datang
had to give
guys.
her a sedative. She has been sleeping since.
Udah jelas mereka bakal masuk penjara semua.
You have stayed with her all the time we were in Venice?
Count Andreni begged me to watch over her. I have not left this room.
You're the reason she's in this state.
Book voted to absolve you all. I
Oh
accepted
kita
his
jadi
verdict.
alasannya.
I
Jelas
tried to
mereka
reason with
yang
her.
membunuh.
What she has already suffered, the strain of these last few days, it was too much.
I understand, Count. It's quite all right. I have the answers I came for.
Oke. Berarti kita lanjut guys. Woi bro.
Michel, I have a few more questions to ask you, if you will allow me.
Anything, Monsieur Poirot. We are in your debt.
What did you do in Venice?
Please tell me your movements when we were stopped at Venice Station.
Once the compartments were cleaned and the linen refreshed, I stayed in my quarters.
Did you notice anything special? Comings and goings?
Monsieur Bouc had asked everyone to stay in their compartments. I would occasionally walk the train to ensure everyone was comfortable. Oh, I saw Monsieur Mori was all alone loading his crates of provisions. A great chef like that, reduced to petty
Kayaknya Mori
labor,
nggak
I
mungkin
would
ya,
have
guys.
helped him. But
Kan
Monsieur Bouc
membunuhnya
had
nggak
ordered me
gendut
not to leave the
yang
train
kemarin.
for any reason. So, Monsieur Mori was forced to labor alone.
Timeline of Ratchet's murder night.
Let us review the actual timeline of the night of Ratchet's murder,
Okay.
not the one
Kita flashback
manufactured
lagi.
to hide your crime.
I left the train in Minkowski for a smoke. Then I resumed my post. That was the truth. The train departed on schedule. But then, of course, an avalanche of snow blocked the tracks. At 12:45, Madame Hubbard and I met in her compartment to discuss how to adapt our plan.
Due to the snow and Poirot.
The little play we had staged for you had to be rewritten. I left her compartment at approximately 1:15.
Then the curtain went up. Calls in the night, the red kimono, all for my benefit.
Siapa Red Kimono ini?
All for nothing, as it turned out.
Do not blame yourself, Michel. I am the theater critic no playwright wants to see in the audience.
Kira-kira siapa si Red Kimono ini guys? Oke kita lanjut. Gak ada lagi yang di luar-luar sepertinya. Pada ketakutan semua. Sejak ketahuan nada dia. Voucher. Bro, dia main piano guys.
You play well. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Thank you. Many years of piano lessons thanks to my mother. I try to play in a few clubs in Paris when I get the chance, but as you can see, it hasn't made me rich. What can I do for you?
Conversation only.
What did you do in Venice?
Tell me about your time in Venice.
I had Monsieur Book's permission to see my sister. She lives in Marghera, just
Wah.
outside of Venice. She had a baby a few weeks ago. This was my
Kemungkinan
first chance
bisa
to
jadi
meet my
dia
new
guys.
nephew.
Karena dia pergi jauh kan.
Gave you permission?
Yes, you can ask him.
Most assuredly, I will. What time did you leave and when did you return?
I left around 9:10 p.m. I was back by 10:45 p.m. When I got back, Hotaru was in a lot of pain. I gave him a back massage.
That would have been enough time to kill Monsieur Wadi and return to the train.
Wow. Si Hotaru minta pijit. Kemungkinan Hotaru atau si Voucher. Tapi Hotaru nggak mungkin kayak guys, dia nggak mungkin bisa lari sekencang itu. Your knives.
May I see your knives?
Of course, they are here.
If you don't mind.
Help yourself. They are under the bar counter.
Okay. Night of Ratchet's murder
Tell me
timeline.
again about your poker game the night of the murder.
It's a regular game to help relax after a long day. Let's see, we started around 11 p.m. We took a short break in Vinkovsky, Hotaru, Pierre and I. The game finished up around 2 a.m. We'd all had quite a bit to drink. Ah, yes, I left for about 10 minutes to refrigerate champagne for the next day. That must have been around 1 a.m.
Okay, thank you for the explanation. Kita akan cek pisaunya guys.
None of these come close to the wounds on either body.
Kita kemarin nggak lihat sih, maksudnya di tubuh si Wadi itu kita nggak lihat tusukannya itu seberapa lebar dan seberapa dalam gitu. Di dadanya cuma darah aja. Halo. Siapa guys? Hotaru, I'm coming. Nggak usah ngomong sama si Book dulu. Oh, kita tanya. Dia memberikan izin si Voucher keluar ya? Nah.
You told Fauché he could go into Venice?
Marghera, actually. Not so far away. It was his only chance to see his sister. He's been working every train for weeks. There is never time to see the new baby.
Enough, Book. Your heart does you credit, but your common sense, it...
I know. But it's fine. Isn't it? He did come back.
Oh, it's fine, as you say. Unless he saw the baby, then killed someone else and returned to the train.
But that's monstrous.
Murder is always monstrous, my friend.
Voucher masih menjadi ini ya, namanya dugaan kuat. Tinggal si Hotaru aja nih guys.
Good evening, Monsieur Mori. May I have a moment of your time? I have a few questions to ask you.
Of course, as long as
Lama.
you don't mind if dinner is ruined.
I promise to be as brief as
Sama kalau
possible.
tidak mengganggu persiapan makan malam. What did you do in Venice?
What did you do while we were stopped in Venice?
With Freya's help, I loaded fresh produce for the next part of our journey. Then,
Oke.
you may not believe this, but my job requires a lot of
Oh, kemungkinan dipijit tuh karena dia pegel-pegel guys.
Fortunately,
Karena mengangkat
John
beban
has
berat
become quite adept at
untuk
separating
resupply kebutuhan dapur. See your knives?
As you may know, I have solved the murder of Monsieur Ratchet.
That is a shame.
I beg your pardon?
The bastard sent my steak tartar back, telling John I was to burn it.
I will add it to the list of his crimes. One wound on Monsieur Ratchet's body was struck by a very
Sharp,
sharp, thin-bladed knife. We haven't found it.
Dengan pisau yang
You
sangat tajam
think
guys, yang
one of mine
ke-13.
was used?
I'd like to have a look if you don't mind.
in that drawer.
Pisau ini pisau mahal semua guys.
Impressive set of knives, but their blades are too wide to have been used for the crime.
Lihat pisaunya ngeri. Night of Ratchet's murder timeline.
Tell me about your poker game the night of the murder.
We started around 11 p.m. When John finished his shift, we played until around 2 a.m. From what I remember, it's a bit vague.
You played without a break.
Actually, we did break once for a smoke. John, Pierre, and I. When we stopped in Vinkovsky.
When was that?
Around midnight?
Oke, thank you Mori. Jadi nggak mencurigakan guys. Tinggal si Nielsen. Di mana dia Nielsen? Oh, ini kamarnya Michelle nih. Ini kamarnya si nggak tahu siapa. Apakah ini?
The box is secured by some sort of locking mechanism. The design is formed by 3 commas. What is the word in Japanese? Tamoe. And it's obviously missing a piece.
Oke, ada
The box, the design.
partnya missing di sini guys ya.
Tamoe. And it's obviously missing a piece.
Ada partnya missing di situ. Mungkinan kita bisa buka itu guys. Nah ini. Oh, di bulu.
A black feather.
Bulu
That
hitam.
reminds me of something.
Milik siapa kah itu? Coba kita lihat lagi guys. Oke. Dimana part yang hilang tersebut? Di sini nggak ada guys. Oke. Kita lanjut sini aja. Nielsen, where are you? Oh, nggak ada guys. Oh, ini dia. Oh,
Good
sir.
evening, Mademoiselle Nielsen. May I talk to you for a moment?
Of course, Mr. Poirot. I'm not going to bed right away.
What did you do in Venice?
Can you tell me your movements while we were stopped in Venice?
That'll be easy.
Membantu si
I didn't move much at
Hotaru.
all. Let's see. I helped Hotaru load all
Yeah.
of the food crates aboard the train. Hotaru had everything he needed, but I realized they forgot half of my order. I spent over an hour on the phone with the supplier without success. I had to change the dessert menu for tomorrow.
Oke, jawaban normal. See your knives.
Dr. Constantine found a stab wound on Ratchet's body that was caused by a much thinner and sharper blade than the others.
Possibly a chef's knife?
My thought precisely.
And you'd like to see my knives?
If you wouldn't mind.
I would gladly show you if I had any, but I don't. I use the regular kitchen knives. You may search if you don't believe me.
I see.
All the knives the staff use are in the kitchen or in the lounge, except
Except
Oh,
Hotaru prefers to use his own.
wow.
Monsieur Mori doesn't use the kitchen knives.
Not usually. I know he keeps a set of traditional
Okay.
Japanese knives in a box in his room. He doesn't let
Okay.
anyone else use them. Although now that I think of it, he has been using the kitchen knives lately.
Oh, jadi si Hotaru itu tadi guys, ternyata dia punya pisau pribadi, tapi dia tadi nggak menunjukkan sama kita ya. Oke. Dan dia jarang menggunakan pisau dapur. Tapi akhir-akhir ini dia malah lebih sering menggunakan pisau dapur daripada pisau pribadinya. Dan pisau pribadinya tersebut kemungkinan lebih tajam daripada pisau dapur ya. Dan itu made in Japanese. Night of Ratchet's murder timeline.
Can you tell me exactly about
Main
your
kartu.
poker game the night of the murder?
We started around 11 p.m. In Vinkovsky, we took a short break. Hotaru and Pierre went outside to smoke. Oh, and Hotaru got sick around a few minutes past 1 a.m. 1:10 a.m. maybe? He spent about 15 minutes in the bathroom, but he didn't want to quit on a losing streak.
Did his
Kemungkinan
luck
ini
improve?
Hotaru ini terlibat dalam
so we
pembunuhan loh
played
guys.
to around 2 a.m. He lost every hand.
Kemungkinan ya.
I've talked to everyone, but some elements of the testimonies do not seem to correspond. I need to recheck a few things.
Check the knives of Mr. Mori. Oke, kita cek pisaunya si Mori ya. Mori, kau telah berbohong. Ternyata kau punya apa namanya? Pisau pribadi. Oke, kita ada yang baru ternyata guys. Check the knives. Freya Nielsen told me that Mori never used the kitchen knives. Nah, dia nggak perlu, si Mori itu nggak pernah menggunakan pisau dapur. Dan oke, room 302. Ruangannya 302 ya guys ya. Si Mori itu menyimpan barang-barang pribadinya. I need to check them. 302. Dan jangan yang tadi yang harus kita ambil part yang hilang itu. Sesuatu ada yang tidak benar dengan testimoninya si Nielsen tadi yang baru kita wawancarai guys. I need to confront her. Oke. Train staff alibis for the murder. Select two elements that give the staff an alibi for the time of the murder. Oke. Sakit. Dia merokok dulu kan. Baru setelah merokok dia masuk, dia ngomong sama si Hubbard.
This is wrong, but I'm never far from the truth.
Oke. Mr. Voucher refrigerated the champagne 12.55. Nielsen doesn't smoke. Mr. Michelle was not watching the hallway from 12:45 to. Oke, kemungkinan sini guys ya.
No, not good.
Ini mungkin.
I do not think that's the right answer.
Oke, Mr. Voucher refrigerated the champagne at 12:55 a.m.
I must admit I'm not right this time.
Apa nih kira-kira guys? Select two elements that give the staff an alibi for the time untuk waktu pembunuhan. Oke. Miss Nielsen doesn't smoke. Mr. Mori and Mr. Voucher left the train in Vinkovsky to smoke. Miss Nielsen doesn't smoke. Oh, Miss Nielsen did not leave the train in. Okay, paham. So she was alone in the crew quarters. Oke. Di kamar kru ya. Oke, nice. Apalagi nih? Mr. Worry vomited around. Dia sakit sekitar jam 1:10 guys. Mr. Michelle was not watching the hallway from. Benar. Mr. Mori reboarded the train. Oke, si Mori ini memasuki kembali kereta jam 1:10. When Pierre Michel was not watching the corridor. Ketika si Michel nggak melihat koridor. Oke. Maksudnya kita mencari siapa pembunuh yang nggak dilihat sama si Michel dan orang lain gitu guys. Kemungkinan ini bisa. Karena ini nggak ikut merokok kan, dia sendiri kan. Dia sendiri di kamar kru kemungkinan. Ini juga kembali karena sakit. Tinggal ini. Oh, voucher nih. Voucher boarded the train jam 12.55 a.m. when Pierre Michel was not watching the corridor. Oh, ini kemungkinan juga dia bisa setelah mereka merokok kan. Dia masuk jam 12.55, berarti dia duluan baru si Mori.
Any of the three staff members had the opportunity
Ya, berarti mereka bertiga.
When Monsieur Michel wasn't watching the hallway.
Yes.
That's the right answer.
Oke. Paham. Oke. Kita ke si nomor berapa tadi? Kamar si kawan itu. Nah ini dia, 302 guys. Coba kita bisa nggak tanya dia lagi? Kita confirm lagi. Nah bisa nih guys. Oh nggak bisa guys, nggak ada pertanyaan baru. Oke, kembalilah bekerja kawan. Sorry telah mengganggu. 302. Ini dia guys, ternyata kamarnya. Berarti ini memang teka-tekinya. Oh, udah ada sekarang guys ini. Oke. Ini gimana nih? Oke. Ini nggak bisa digeser. Bentar. Aku pahami dulu guys. Oke, lanjut. Ini sepertinya kayak di lock. Ini ada locknya gitu guys. Nah, ini di lock makanya dia nggak bisa kebuka. Kita bukain dulu. Ini di lock juga, berarti di sini dulu. Oke, ini ternyata bisa. Wait. Oh, ada gambar guys. Jangan-jangan kita harus menemukan simbol-simbol kayak gini nih. Oke, sebentar. Ini berarti harus dibuka nih, biar bisa kebuka.
It's still locked. I need to move the parts on the side.
Oke. Kabar ya Pak. Kemungkinan sebentar ya. Ini kemungkinan gambarnya di sebelah sini loh guys. Ini caranya gimana nih supaya bisa? Kan? Ada gambar deh guys. Gak bisa bro. Ini harus kebuka masalahnya. Nah, sebagian sini aja belum kita temukan gambarnya. Nah, itu dia. Oh, macet di sini, guys. Wih. Tutup dulu deh. Tutup dulu deh. Dulu ya, Bu. Tutup. Nah. Tutup lagi atas nih. Susah banget sih ke atas ini. Tutup. Wih. Nah. Coba tuh. Nah, nice. Buka. Sedikit lagi, Bro. Nice. Oh, ini nggak perlu nih, guys. Ke situ aja. Ya, ini kebuka. Ini nggak perlu juga. Karena dia cuma satu itu memang.
It's still locked. I need to move the parts on the side.
Ini nggak bisa kebuka, guys. Yang banget deh. Nah. Bentar. Aduh, ganjel sama ini. Ini harus diginiin dulu guys. Nah, aduh, gimana ya? Gak bisa sih dia. Nah, kayaknya gambarnya udah kebuka semua nih guys. Yap, tas sudah digeser, coba kita buka. Nice. Ambil. Ini ternyata deh guys part yang missing.
An object that looks like a broken comma. It must be
Ya.
of something else.
Kami udah tahu untuk mana. Yes. Mari kita buka tempat pisaunya guys. Nice. Nah, koper. Ini dia. Kita lihat kira-kira pisau mana nih yang digunakan.
Sushi knives, razor sharp.
Pisau untuk sushi.
Colteria Venezia.
Oke. Kemungkinan ini mungkin.
Sushi knives,
Oke, pisau untuk sushi lagi. Ini nggak mungkin sih guys untuk nusuk.
Sushi knives,
Ujungnya tumpul.
razor sharp.
Banyak pisau untuk sushi semua guys. Ini mungkin bisa jadi nih untuk bunuh orang.
Sushi knives, razor sharp.
Oke, kita finish di sini. Terus kita harus ngapain nih? Ask Mori about his personal knives. Oke, kita tanya si Mori guys. Dia nggak bisa ngelak kali ini. Habis itu kita nggak sopan sih. Udah masuk ke kamar pribadi orang kan. Cek barang-barang pribadi. But it was no problem since we have to solve this case. Ini apa nih? Verano.
Saffron. It must be worth a small fortune.
Hey Mori, ternyata kau punya pisau pribadi ya?
I'm sorry, Monsieur Mori, but haven't you forgotten something? You haven't told me about the knives hidden in your room.
Tersembunyi di kamarmu.
Yes, indeed. I forgot to tell you about those. They are my personal knives. I only use these knives. There are none better. I bought them all in Japan. No one is allowed to touch them except me.
Dia boleh di Jepang. Gak boleh ada yang orang lain menyentuh kecuali dia. Manakah pernyataan berikut yang mengandung kebohongan? They are my personal knives ya, oke. I only use these knives. There are none better. Oke, benar. I bought them all in Japan, ya benar. No one is allowed to touch them except. Oh, tadi ada satu yang Itali gitu nama itu. Apa namanya pisaunya, guys? Kemungkinan ini ya. Gak semuanya dia beli di Jepang berarti.
I'm afraid you are better at sushi than lying.
What? What do you mean?
Okay, select the element that proves he is lying. Ini dia, Coltelleria Venezia tadi di salah satu pisaunya, guys.
One of the knives has an inscription Coltelleria Venezia. Did you happen to go shopping tonight, monsieur?
Damn you, Poirot. Very well. One of my sushi knives has been missing since the night of the murder. I thought you were going to believe I killed Ratchet. He routinely sent back my dishes to be ruined. Why does God give rich people the money to afford the best cuisine, but not the palate to appreciate it? I panic. I know a very good store in Venice. I went to buy a knife to replace the one
Dia bilang dia
missing.
pisaunya itu hilang ya di malam
I
pembunuhan.
assure you that I had nothing to do with any murders.
Jadi dia beli pisaunya itu di Venesia, guys. Makanya kenapa ada tulisan Itali?
Put that knife down.
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry.
What time did you leave on your little shopping trip?
I left around 9:30 p.m. I was back a little after 11:15 p.m.
Time enough to stab Monsieur Wadi and return. Very well, Monsieur Mori. That's all for now. If I have
Cuma 2 orang berarti yang keluar
I'll be right
dari
here.
kereta untuk pergi. Si Mori sama si Voucher. Oke. Sekarang kita harus ke si Nielsen lagi berarti guys. Confronting Miss Nielsen. Oke. Sesuatu ada yang tidak benar tentang testimoninya. Kita harus ke belakang lagi berarti. Bolak balik kita guys. Nielsen, where are you? Still in the luggage. The Venice alibi. Alibi
Remind
Venice,
me
yeah.
of what you did when the train stopped in Venice.
No problem. I helped Hotaru load all of the food crates aboard the train. Hotaru had everything he needed, but I realized they forgot half of my order. I spent over an hour on the phone with the supplier, without success. I had to change the dessert menu for tomorrow.
Oke, kan si Hotaru ada pergi guys. Dia nggak bilang Hotaru itu pergi. Dia bilang selama di Venice dia bersama si Hotaru. I brought in all the food crates with Hotaru. Aku membawa masuk semua kotak makanan dengan Hotaru. Aku sadar suppliernya lupa setengah dari orderanku. I spent 1 hour on the phone with the supplier without success. Aku menghabiskan 1 jam lewat telepon dengan supplier tanpa berhasil. I had to change the dessert menu for tomorrow. Aku harus mengganti menu dessert untuk besok. Berarti yang pertama nih guys. Aku membawa masuk semua kotak makan dengan Hotaru. Jelas.
Mademoiselle, I believe you're hiding the truth from me.
What makes you say that?
Oke, select the element that proves he is lying. Mereka pernyataannya nggak sama ya guys ya.
Monsieur Mori was loading crates of food on the train.
Yes, I helped him. You can ask him yourself.
It's true. Monsieur Mori told me that Miss Nielsen did help him.
Nanti bukan itu guys. Testimoni si Voucher. Michelle. Voucher.
Monsieur Fauché did not see you helping Monsieur Mori.
He couldn't have. He wasn't there.
Indeed, Monsieur Fauché did not mention seeing Miss Nielsen or Monsieur Mori.
Berarti testimoni dari Michelle.
Michelle saw Monsieur Mori carrying the crates of food alone. You weren't on the platform.
I did help Hotaru.
The entire time? He carried so many crates, his back was
Oh, karena
I'm sorry about that.
dia melakukannya sendiri
I'm
lah.
guilty. I did leave him before we were finished. But
Oke,
I had
dia
to.
ngaku
There
guys.
was no saffron he needed for a recipe. I volunteered to go into Venice and get him some. The Rialto market would be open late because of the carnival. He gave me money. I knew we weren't supposed to leave the train, but I only wanted to help. Mr. Mori can confirm this. Ask him. I saved dinner.
Perempuan kayak gini kalau misalnya dia udah salah dia,
on behalf of my
defense-nya mengerikan guys.
How long were you gone?
I left at 9:10 p.m. and was back with the saffron around 11. That's when I called my supplier for the items I was missing.
Miss Nielsen had almost 2 hours to buy the saffron, find a costume, kill Monsieur Wadi, elude Detective Locke, and make it back to the train for that phone call. Yes, it's possible that was enough time.
Kemungkinan dia
Thank you,
guys.
Mademoiselle Nielsen. That is all for now.
Sorry again, Mr. Poirot. I hope you enjoy tonight's dessert.
Karena cuma dia yang tahu ada karnaval kan. Dia mention karnaval tadi soalnya. Alibi di Venesia. Puzzle lagi guys. Who doesn't have an alibi for the murder of Mr. Wadi? Inilah jelas confirm.
Think, Poirot. That is not a good idea.
Siapa yang tidak punya alibi for ini kuat? Ini sih kayak nggak mungkin dia.
This is wrong. But I'm never far from the truth.
Kita voucher.
I must admit I'm not
Uy.
right this time. I do not think that's the right answer.
Oh harus Nih. Ya. Multiple person ternyata guys, bukan satu orang aja. Oke. Report to Detective Log. Kita laporan ke si Joanne Log guys. Joanne Log, where are you? Are you in your room? Kita ngobrol tipis-tipis lah ya sama si Book ini. Halo Mr. Book. Oh nggak bisa, udah nggak ada percakapan lagi sama dia guys. Gak ada orang lain ya di luarnya, masing-masing di kamarnya. Ini, oke. Ini juga nggak ada lagi. New conversation. Nah ini dia first class masih. Terus ke second class. Bentar, coba cek. Gak ada lagi guys. Second class after this car. Setelah gerbong ini guys. Oke. 10 berapa ya? Lupa. Ini guys, 102 ya? 03? Loh. Loh, kok nggak ada yang bisa dibuka nih? 105 ya? Oh, 105 rupanya guys.
What have you been doing, Poirot? I am completely in the dark.
I will shine some light on the situation, my friend. I have 3 new suspects who
Kita punya
could have
3
killed Ratchet and
terduga
Monsieur Wadi, Miss Nielsen,
yang telah membunuh
Monsieur Fauché,
Ratchet dan
and Monsieur Moreau.
Aziz Wadi.
They all had periods of time
Tiganya
during
adalah
both murders
staf
to
pekerja
commit
di
the deed,
kereta.
and their alibis are weak. A visit to a family, and not 1 but 2 shopping trips.
But all are my employees.
Alas, yes, my dear Book. But we have no proof against any of them. None of the 3 appears to have any motive whatsoever.
But this is a tragedy.
Do not give up hope. We will catch this murderer. There is still one place that may hold the evidence we need.
Geneva.
Exact.
Oke,
Not give up hope? Well, that's easy for you to say. But what if it's Freya?
Geneva itu tempatnya si Aziz Wadi ya.
Who will cook? Me? And the worst, if it's Jean, who will serve the drinks?
I've been checking up on the Banque du Lac. I had to confirm my identity for Interpol, so they contacted my captain at the Berkshire Police.
I suspect he was not pleased.
That my vacation was actually an unofficial investigation? I'll say.
I would be happy to speak to him on your behalf.
Thank you, but he'll get over it. It's a chance to close the books on the Armstrong kidnapping. He stopped yelling, asked for a report, then granted me an extra week.
Excellent. What did you learn from Interpol about the Banque du Lac?
It's had a bad reputation for over a century. Customers have included the mafia, Nazis, corporate swindlers of every description, even heads of state.
It is true, this. It is the worst kept secret in banking. They take advantage of the bank's strict policy of protecting the anonymity of its clients. This is in defiance of many laws from multiple countries, including Switzerland itself. Of course, I have never taken advantage of such a corrupt system.
That goes without saying, my friend.
There are ongoing investigations, subpoenas, court orders. The bank will eventually have to comply, or its assets may be seized. But until then, it still thrives, thanks to its wealthy and powerful clients.
It sounds perfect for the late Monsieur Ratchet. Do you have any ideas?
The serial numbers from some of the bills match those from the Armstrong kidnapping. We agreed in Venice that the bulk of the money must still be physically in the bank's vault.
I concur, Detective Locke. Exemplary work. So, our next task is clear. We need to get into Ratchet's safety deposit box.
There will be codes, passwords.
And Monsieur Wadi would, of course, have known them all. The bag of money he carried is proof of that.
We'll need to find information about Ratchet's box in Wadi's office at the bank.
Most assuredly, but remember the secrecy involved. I doubt his office will contain all we need. Where else must we dig?
Oke. Where I can find information on Ratchet safety deposit box. Kita pasti bakal membutuhkan kode untuk membuka berangkas ini guys. Deposit box information. Ratchet's diary? Internet nggak mungkin dong. Tanya ke McQueen. Apartemennya Wadi. Ratchet diary nggak mungkin guys. McQueen nggak mungkin tahu dong. Mr. Wadi apartemen. Nah, apartemennya si Wadi.
That was easy.
Mr. Wadi couldn't keep all of his secrets at the bank. Hopefully we'll find something in his apartment. We already have his address thanks to his passport, and his keys we retrieved from his body.
The train stops in Lausanne at 8 a.m. But that's far from Geneva. I can delay the departure until 11 a.m.
Oke. Kita berarti bakal melewati Geneva ya guys.
By the end of the afternoon at the latest.
Jadi bakal ada transit lagi nanti.
Any delay.
The bank doesn't open until 9. I can see only one way that gives us a chance to be on time.
Oke, how to go to Geneva? Boat dong, biar cepet.
Ferries travel between Lausanne and Geneva, but it would take over 3 hours. We can't depend on finding a faster boat. Better to take a taxi and pray traffic is light.
Oke, how to search the apartment the office efficiently? Oke, harus berpisah sih, supaya cepat dapat apartemennya.
Best thing is to separate. One of us searches his apartment, the other searches his office. To access the safety deposit box, we need to find the key, the box number, and the passcode.
Suppose you find all this. How do you plan to get into the vault?
How to access the safety deposit box? Search warrant impersonating Ratchet. Kita meniru si Ratchet. Surat geledah dong.
My captain suggested an international warrant to search the box, but the warrant would take days, and the bank would probably just laugh at it.
We are going to use the bank's anonymity policy to our advantage.
And the
Geledah
quickest
itu
way
butuh
is
berhari-hari
for me to
guys
impersonate
untuk
Ratchet.
keluar.
I would rather impersonate Jack the Ripper, but in the interest of justice, I will do it.
Oke, kita akan meniru gayanya si Ratchet guys.
I will say I want access to the vault. They don't ask for papers or even names. The vault information is enough.
Ya, oke.
I'm not hearing any of this.
Orang bank tidak
I
mungkin akan
run a
menanyakan
train
nama
company.
ataupun
I don't
informasi yang lain.
romance.
Perfect.
Mereka cuma
Let's
butuh
recap
kode
the
kata
plan.
guys. Kalau kita tahu kode berarti itu milik kita gitu. Put the steps of the plan in the right order. Oke. Kita harus menyusun rencananya dengan benar. Find information about Ratchet safe. Go to the Geneva taxi. Meet up at the bank. Search Mr. Wadi's office and apartment. Pretend to be Ratchet. Search Ratchet safety deposit box. Separate dulu. Find information about Ratchet safe. Go to Geneva by taxi. Separate. Meet up at the bank. Terus Mr. Wadi office and apartment. Pretend to be Ratchet. Search Ratchet safety deposit box. Oke. Pretend to be Ratchet. Ini find information about Ratchet safe.
No.
Oke, salah guys. Bentar ini. Ya, ini udah benar berpisah. Baru Mr. Wadi office and apartment. Benar. Find information about Ratchet safe. Kurasa ini benar. Safety box ini ada di, maksudnya ada di apartemennya atau di bank nih guys. Pretend to be Ratchet. Nice. Ternyata ini ada di bank ya guys.
I'm right again.
Oh iya, tadi deposit box ya. Jelas ada di bank.
To sum up, we're going by taxi to Geneva. Then we'll split up. You're going to search Mr. Wadi's apartment. I'll search the office at the bank. When we have all the information we need, you pretend to be Ratchet, and we can finally find out what Ratchet is keeping hidden in his safety deposit box.
It sounds impossible.
Not for Detective Joanna Locke and Hercule Poirot.
We should get some rest.
You are right, Detective. We face our greatest challenge tomorrow. Together.
Wow. Yes. Oke guys, kita akhiri dulu videonya sampai di sini. Kemungkinan di episode berikutnya bakalan seru ya guys, karena kita bakalan mendapatkan informasi baru tentang si Ratchet sama Wadi ini. Oke, kita bertemu lagi di episode berikutnya. Terima kasih telah menonton guys.